Hi, ninth grade,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 9.
week 9.
Wow. Thanks for sticking with us.
We are very proud of every one of you.
Yes.
And we're in the home stretch. So uh, this week we are going to just be working on one assignment. One assignment. This assignment is your performance task. So this performance task is going to take all of the pieces that we've been working with over the past 5-ish weeks and ask you to use all those skills to create one final product.
And you're freaking out. But this assignment is also very, very similar to what we did last week.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same steps.
And we have a really good document for you guys to follow, but Mr. Allen and I just want to say one very important thing. It is important that you read the directions.
Yeah, I just want to say that it's important that you read the directions.
Also, it is important that you read the directions.
Mm-hmm. The YouTube video is here, so you can come back and you can watch the video again if you're not quite sure. And then it's important that you read the directions.
Because it is important that you read the directions.
And finally, it's important that you read the directions.
Great. I think we can start.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the document that everyone has shared with them. It says ninth grade spoken word poetry performance task overview. Over the past few weeks, we have watched, listened to, and read multiple poems. We have read classic poems and contemporary poems, and we've spent a considerable amount of time with spoken word performances. For your final performance task, you will choose one of the poems below that interest you most. You will create a slideshow of your written and or performed responses to the poem. And to help you decide, we have identified kind of like a general topic for each poem. As you're going to see below, each spoken word poem has a link to an informational article which is about the same topic that that poem is about. Your first step is going to be to begin by watching and reading the poem of your choice and writing an analysis of the poem. You will then either write a paragraph that examines the connections between the poem and the article, or you're going to write a poem like you have in response to that spoken word poem that you chose. And finally, you will have the option to either, one, perform or record your poem, like so many of you did last week. Option 2, create a visual slideshow that builds upon the message of your poem. Or 3, create a slideshow that shows the connections between the informational article paragraph that you read and the connections that exist with that poem. All the transcripts for all these spoken word poems are in this document. All you have to do is scroll down to the bottom of the document. We're going to get there, okay? The due date is Saturday, May 23rd. So today is Monday, May 18th. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to complete this assignment, which should not take you that long, but we're giving you ample time.
All right. So here are the components of this project. This is what this project is made up of. 3 parts. Part 1, analyze the spoken word poem of your choice. There's only 4 poems to choose from. Some of them are easier than others. The poem on accents is really fun and a little funny. The poem on the Harvard graduation speech is definitely denser, uses bigger words, and is about bigger concepts. The other 2 you can pick between, but I'm just saying, make sure you look over the transcripts for all 4 before you make your choice. All right, so that's part 1. You're going to write 2 paragraphs analyzing the effectiveness, the impact, the meaning, the theme of that poem, and have given you a checklist to follow. All you got to do is do what the checklist says, check off as you go along, and you'll end up with 2 really good paragraphs. Part 2, read the article that's connected to your poem. Then choose A or B. For 2A, write a paragraph that connects the article to the poem. We've already linked the article and the poem together because they share the same topic. All you got to do is write about why they're connected. And we just want you to use 1 or 2 direct citations from the text in your paragraph. That's option 2A. 2B, write another response poem. Just like we asked you to do last week, we're asking you to write a response poem to the poem and the article. So your poem last week responded to the poem and incorporated some of your journal response. This is responding to the poem and responding to the article. It's almost exactly the same thing. It's just new texts. And finally, part 3. There are 3 choices that go along with part 3. 3A, 3B, 3C. 3A, record your poem. You can do it with just audio, like some of you did, or you can do it with video and audio. Either way is fine. 3B, add visuals to your slideshow that expands on the message of the poem that you wrote. This is exactly like what we did last week. It's just a new poem. I'm hoping to see some more imaginative and creative visuals from you guys. A lot of you did what Miss Laredo said explicitly not to do, and put a picture of a cell phone for your poem about cell phones. That made me sad. And then finally, 3C is a new option because for this project, you have the option to not write a poem. If you chose to not write a poem, then you get to choose 3C and add visuals to your slideshow that expands on the connection paragraph that you wrote. So I want you to, for 3B and 3C, what they have in common is that you're working with your words. All right.
So here are the topics that you have, or the poems that you have. The first poem is by Rudy Francisco, and it's called Complainers. The link to the poem is here. If you just click on that YouTube video, it'll bring you right to the spoken word performance. And then the article that is connected to the poem is here. Every single article is like a page and a half. It's not long at all. They're very, very short reads. They're about like 5-minute reads, I think. Second poem is called The Dangers of Silence by Clint Smith. You've got the link here. Again, same article right here. The third poem is called Accents by Denise Froman. Link is here. Again, article is here. And then last poem is called Donovan Livingston's Harvard Commencement Speech. This is actually, it's a spoken word poem that was performed at the graduation ceremony for Harvard students in 2016. So it's a little bit different than the other 3, just in the way that it is filmed, because it was at a graduation, okay? So what do you do all week? Now that you have all of this information from Mr. Allen and Miss Laredo, now what do you do? Every single day, in order to get this done on time, we have created a daily tracker. And if you keep up with this tracker, by Thursday, your whole project will be done. So don't put this off and start this on Saturday morning, okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of complaints from students who are like, oh, we're getting a lot of work and I have to do it all at the last minute. We're giving you chunks of work that are about the same amount as we've been giving you so far.
Yeah.
Please take the opportunity to do the work when we schedule it.
After our class is over, our live class, or if you're not joining us for the live class and you're watching this on your own time, what you want to do today, Monday, is first thing, pick the poem that you want. So if you want to watch all 4 of them and then make a choice, that's fine. Or if you just want to go by topic, you can go by topic. watch the poem, the spoken word performance, read it, and then use the checklist to start writing your response and analyze the poem. All of the transcripts are here, poem transcripts. The name of the poem is here, and the words for the poem are here.
But you can read over them. Just skim over those transcripts and you will see, oh, this one looks easier. Okay, then do that one. That's fine.
Or if you want to challenge yourself more, by all means, take the challenge. It's
Abs-
your choice, guys and girls.
Absolutely.
What do you put on your slideshow at the end of Monday after you watch your poem and you read your poem and you analyze your poem?
Ooh, I know.
Mr. Allen, tell us what we do.
You complete a cover page slide with your name, date, class, and title, and complete 1 to 2 slides for the analysis of your poem. Use the checklist to guide you and proofread after. Oh, where's the checklist?
The checklist, Mr. Allen, is right here.
Oh, fantastic. So these are thinking threads to get you started. In your first paragraph, you're going to introduce the title and author of the poem. You're going to identify the message or theme of the poem. We may have given you some of the theme already. And then you're going to connect the message or theme to the poem's title. Each one of these things is going to be a sentence or part of a sentence.
Yep.
So that you end up with 5 to 7 sentences.
Yep.
After you've introduced the poet, the poem, and the theme or the message, then tell us about it. What's the tone and the mood? Remember, tone is the poet's feelings about what they're talking about, and the mood is how you feel about what they're talking about. And you got to cite evidence from the text. This is basic stuff that we've been building on all year long. And finally, look at the poet's performance techniques, how they talk, how they move. Where are they? Does that play a factor? And then how do those techniques, how are they connected to mood and tone? How are those techniques connected to the message that the poet's trying to get across? The poet's probably going to have a different message depending on where they are, who they're talking to. So take that into account. And then your second paragraph, you're going to introduce and analyze the poem's figurative language. All of these poems have figurative language. I checked.
Yep.
How does the figurative language help the poet get their message across? What type of figurative language is it? Cite 2 examples of figurative language from the text.
I'm going to put some in here for you guys as a little helper.
Oh, you're so nice, Ms. Loreto.
Hyperbole, simile, personification, imagery. Could I add rhyme and rhythm?
Rhyme and rhythm, metaphor. There's a lot of metaphors in these poems, I know for sure.
Onomatopoeia.
Cite 2 examples of this figurative language from the text. And then finally, determine if the language used is formal or informal. Just going to go ahead and give you 2. So the Harvard commencement speech poem, that's very formal. He's talking to graduating college seniors. He's talking to their parents. He's talking to the deans of the school. It's a very formal occasion, and he's using very formal language.
Yep.
In the poem about accents, it seems like she might even be in like a comedy club type setting or a coffee house. It's very informal. She uses a lot of slang. She jumps between English and Spanish. There might even be some Spanglish in there.
Yep.
And so that's very informal. She has fun with it. It's less buttoned up.
So this probably seems like a lot, but you guys could even, another thing you could do is just analyze it on your own and write your paragraphs and then go back and compare what you have with this checklist, and whatever things you don't have, you can go back in and add it, or you can just use the checklist and go down in a super organized way, the way that Mr. Allen had it.
Yeah.
Either way.
Some of you are going to look at, just make sure you read this. I believe we've said it was important. Make sure you read this. Once you've read it once or twice, you should be able to know, oh, I can just do that. And then before you turn it in, use it as a checklist. That's for Monday. Tuesday, you're selecting option 2A, where you write a paragraph that connects the spoken word poem that you chose to the article it's linked to. All right, so there it is. If you choose 2A, you got to read the article. Then you write a connection paragraph. Use the guidelines as you write.
I think maybe we should put right here, read the article first.
Read the article first. So yeah, if you choose 2A, then you're going to write a paragraph connecting the poem to the article. If you choose 2B, you're going to write a response poem like you did last week, and like you were supposed to last week, but many of you missed this step. You got to highlight the part of your poem that is responding to the article that you read, so that we can be sure that you read the article.
That's just one line anywhere in your poem. This is basically like what you did with the journal. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Then what would go on that slideshow? Well, I would check this column. My slide should either have my connection paragraph or my poem. That's it. You have one slide that day. You write your connection paragraph about the article and the poem, or you write a poem that responds back. Wednesday is the last part of selecting pieces of this performance task. You're going to choose 3A, 3B, or 3C. So you're either going to choose 3A and you're going to audio record yourself reciting the poem or performing your poem. If you choose to perform it, think about your facial expressions, your hand gestures, your body language, the tone of your voice. A lot of you did a really great job with this last week when you sent us the poems that you performed. And even if the people, even if you choose to do audio, you guys all did a wonderful job speaking into your microphones last week. So this seems like a really fun option for a lot of students. And if you don't want to do that, that's okay. You can also just do another visual add-on. So whether you choose 3B or 3C, you have to put 2 to 3 images in your slideshow that connect to the meaning of the poem that you wrote or the connection paragraph that you wrote. It's just adding visuals. So your slides for that day will have either the audio recording or the video of yourself, or 2 to 3 images. And then, Mr. Allen, last but not least.
Thursday, review, proofread, check on your there, and theirs. Are you talking about over there? Are you talking about something that belongs to them? Or are you talking about something that they are doing? These are easy things to check, just check. Red squiggly lines mean you probably misspelled something. Blue squiggly lines are suggestions for something you might need to fix. Feel free to Google. Read your slides out loud to make sure they make sense is good. Read your slides out loud to a family member to see if they make sense. You should always be sharing stuff with whoever's at home just 'cause.
Yeah.
They probably ask you, hey, what'd you do in school today? Now you can just show them, here, look at this. And then you can go play video games while they read. Yeah. And then turn it in. Now, maybe you're not watching this on Monday and you're feeling like you're way behind. That's okay. You have, let's just imagine that you're watching this on Wednesday. So we gave you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to write it, and then Thursday to review. If it's Wednesday, now you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
And Saturday.
And Saturday to review. And repeat for all the other. I'm not going to list the days of the week again. We will be here live in the mornings, either myself or Miss Laredo, maybe both of us if you're lucky. I will continue to be here in the afternoons at 1:30 for help on this assignment or whatever else you're coming up with. Email me if there's something else you want to work on in the afternoon so I can be ready, because I will be primarily working with whoever wants to work on this assignment.
And this is the last assignment for the poetry unit. So it's worth a lot, and you have a lot of time to do your best and ask for help if you're unsure. I would suggest maybe rewinding the video that we just spent all this time recording and rewatching if you're not sure about a direction, because I think we were pretty thorough. We might have missed something, and it's possible, but we feel like you guys have a good framework here to work with to be successful. And I am very excited to see what kind of work everyone produces.
I am excited as well. I just want to say a few people did a video or an audio after they almost didn't, and they were very unsure.
Yeah.
Every single video or audio that I listened to or watched is one of the best things I've seen all year.
Same.
So if you're stuck and you're like, oh, I want to, but what if it's not any good? It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. So if you're like, oh, I would rather record my poem than record your poem. You don't have to. If you're like, I just don't want to do that, I would like to do the slideshow instead, then do that. That's fine. But the more of those that we hear and see, the better it makes our day.
All right, guys, that's all. Good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Miss you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.